Did you know that the United States of America has the moon in Aquarius in its chart? I'm Marina Orms, the founder of Astrology Heals at astrologyheals.com. And today I want to share with you 3 ways to take charge of your freedom on this Independence Day. Happy birthday to the United States. We are 246 years old. We are in the midst of our Pluto return, which is something that human beings don't experience because it is a 246-year cycle. So we don't live that long, but countries can and do. So here we are, and 3 ways to take charge of your freedom. Today, the moon is in Virgo. It's the perfect time to talk about practical things we can do, how to engage, how to roll up our sleeves and participate in this this project called the United States that is about who we are and how we engage, because a democracy is about and for and from the people. So we are the people, and Aquarius is about the people. Aquarius is about freedom. It is about rebellion. It is about equality. It is about working together toward a common cause. It is about thinking about the future. And when we say that the United States has an Aquarius moon, we mean that that is the nature of our spirit, our soul. What it is that makes us happy is these ideas of freedom and equality, and the ways that we engage in democracy to shape it and to make it our own. And so this is a perfect time to be thinking about this and to be thinking about how we can participate and what it means to be a citizen in a democracy, and how to ask for the things we want and not just assume that somebody's going to take care of us, which is more of an authoritarian kind of approach. With Pluto in Capricorn since 2008, as I talked about yesterday, we've had some of this energy of looking to an authority, looking to a father figure, and feeling powerless ourselves. And so as Pluto goes into Aquarius next year, and as we're thinking about the United States having its moon in Aquarius, we can think about these themes of freedom and what it looks like and means for us to be advocates for our own freedoms. So what can we do? 3 things, 3 ways to take charge of your freedom. And the first one is to take care of yourself. So I always suggest that we start with self-care, because you can't do much. You're not very effective if you haven't taken care of yourself first. And I talked quite a bit about that yesterday. We are in a Cancer new moon cycle. Self-care is up right now. Our feelings, our emotions are all over the map. And so take care of yourself so that you can be available to be your best self for others, and show up with a healing presence for the world around you. So take care of yourself. For me, I know that looks like when I eat breakfast, I sit down, I chew my food, I breathe, I think about what I'm grateful for, and I really, really enjoy the food that I'm eating, whatever I am choosing to eat. So that's one way I take care of myself. Another way is to take some time for myself to wind down before I go to bed, instead of just working right up until, or thinking about things that I have to do, or whatever it might be. So giving myself time to just space out, wind down, do what feels good, do what nurtures me. Sometimes it might be reading a book. Sometimes it might be just doing nothing, or talking to someone, or just winding down. So that's important. That's one way that I take care of myself. Another way is to notice when my stress levels are starting to go up. And when I can become aware that that is happening, I can then go, oh, look at that. Okay, what do I need to do? Do I need to take a breath? Do I need to do a little stretching? Do I need to just get up and move? What do I need to do when I notice that those stress levels are starting to go up? Because I can maybe not, maybe I don't have time to get all the way back to baseline, but I can back it off from what it is. So I certainly can do that with a quick deep breath, or shaking off whatever it is that's bothering me for a moment. So those are some things I do. I would love to hear what you do to take care of yourself, or if these ideas are helpful to you or spark your own thoughts about how you can support yourself in your own self-care practices. Really, really important. Okay, so that was number one. Take care of yourself in taking charge of your freedom. Number two is believe in possibility. So I've talked extensively yesterday in my video, and you might want to go watch that one, but about how the future is not determined yet. So when we start to feel hopeless or feel a sense of despair or powerlessness, it's just a state of mind, really, because the future hasn't happened yet. There's still lots that could change, lots that that is in play right now, and that we can participate in and influence and be part of. So how are you choosing to believe in what is possible and opening yourself to a future that might have things happen, maybe not the way you exactly the way that you might, create it in your own mind, but how can it be something that's truly revelatory or change making or inspiring, or opening to new ways of hope and love and caring. So things only become a foregone conclusion when we give up and we decide that's the way it is. And I don't mean to say that there aren't moments when it's appropriate to recognize, okay, this is happening and we need to accept it. That is the case sometimes, but also especially right now in our political system, there's so much that really hasn't been decided yet. And when we decide that it's all over, then we've given up, and then it truly is all over. It becomes a foregone conclusion. So having our hearts and minds open to whatever solutions or ideas or possibilities we haven't considered yet is what allows us to participate in discovering and fulfilling creative possibilities and solutions. Okay, so number one is take care of yourself. Number two is believe in possibility. And number three is look for ways to get involved. So what can you do that makes you feel like you're making a difference, that gives you that spark of feeling like you're doing something, of, working with other people, to have that sense of community, to have that sense of working towards something together, caring about something together, that can really inspire you and give you energy to participate, to do whatever is speaking to you as a way to make a difference. And those ways are going to be different for each of us. For some of us, it might be getting involved in your community, or volunteering, or doing something at a very local or neighborhood level, or even just helping your neighbors and being kind. For others, it might be, getting involved on the national level, or something that is important to you that you care about. And so ways that you can find those ways to participate, you can do a Google search. Just start with, how can I help get out the vote? How can I support abortion clinics to provide services? How can I help? And Google those things. The organizations are there. They are doing really good things. They would love your support. I know that a lot of people are working to make our world a better place, and even just knowing that you're there and you care makes a huge difference to them and their ability to do the work that they're already doing. So Google searches. I would say also that right now, the political party that is most important to support because of the threats to democracy, quite literally, is that we need to support Democrats. And across the board, getting Democrats in office is going to be what supports us to maintain and sustain a democracy. And when we do that, then we can keep working to improve things, to get the goals that feel really important to us accomplished, and so on. But if we lose democracy, then it's going to be a lot harder to do those things. So right now, even if you don't agree with all of their policies or all of their ideologies, just getting Democrats in office makes a big difference in our ability to have a democracy to work with, and it's really important. So how can you help Democrats get elected across the board? I think, of course, it's up to you, but that's my opinion. Looking for ways to get involved. One more idea is to find communities and organizations that are, like I said, doing things that are meaningful to you. And how can you volunteer or support what they're doing, because it might be a way for you to feel like you're part of something, and that can help support your healing and your growth and your ability to have hope and believe in the future. And of course, what you have to offer and share makes a difference. So again, it's not about being perfect. It's not about doing things a really, like, there's only one way to be an activist. I think being an activist is an attitude more than anything. It's a willingness to have conversations and to question things that you hear and say, oh, really? I hadn't heard that. Or, where did you hear that? Can you tell me your source for that? Because that's sort of different than what I've heard. Or, just sort of in a gentle and kind way, asking people to think along with yourself. And the more that we all sort of restore a conversation to where where we're talking to each other again. And again, we do not have to agree. We do not have to be perfect, but democracy is about having healthy disagreements, right? It's about having a world where we can hash things out and argue and advocate for what's important to us and make compromises and work together. So that's what I have to say. I hope that is helpful to you. Happy Independence Day. Happy day of working toward freedom and putting your energies into continuing democracy and whatever that looks like for you. So taking care of yourself lets you be there for the world and make a difference in positive ways. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Thank you for subscribing and sharing my videos. I really appreciate it. All right, see you tomorrow. Bye for now.